Okay, so we've recorded the AP number. Now we put the CD in. And the CD, again, it has to be blue so they can hear it. You are going to also do this because this CD is going to play for 18 minutes. And the first section, it's going to give instructions. When you hear this sound, beep, it's, press record. They'll give the kids instructions about what they're going to do. They have a persuasive writing thing, and they have a speaking part to that, and then they have a kind of like a simulated interpersonal. And so you're going to be listening to it, and it's eventually going to say beep, start the recorder. Now, in times past, what they do is give the instructions in English. Yada, 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 yada. And when you hear this beep, it's time to start the recorder. And somehow they got screwed up, and then it turned out to give it in Spanish, the same instructions. And a lot of times people would push when you hear that sound beep, they'd push the recording, and then what they'd actually do is record the Spanish instructions with it, which if that happens, it happens. Don't worry about it. So you're listening to it, and it comes time to push the recording. All you have to do is push the record button, and it will just continue to record until you stop it. And you're listening to the CD with the kids, and eventually it'll say stop the recording. And when it does, you're going to push stop. At that point, it's probably going to be around 2 minutes long, the recording. The whole thing last year was just under 4 minutes. If you did it perfectly, it was just under 4 minutes long, the entire recording. So we stopped the recording. This CD is continued to play. I said it was 18 minutes long, so we've only played probably 10 or 12 minutes of this CD. It's going to continue on, and then it's going to take them to the next recording that the kids have to make. It's going to give them some instructions, and eventually it's going to say start the recording again. So we're just going to push the button again. Notice I didn't rewind it. I wanted to add it right to the end of the recording. So far, so good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. When it finishes, it says stop the recording. It's going to give the kids instructions, and it's going to say rewind your recording and make sure it worked. Well, the kids don't have a rewind button. So your job is going to be to rewind. And what I'm going to give you instructions to is not if you push this one, it would go all the way back to the beginning, and they would hear their AP number. What I'm going to suggest for rewind, if you click on this one, every time you click, it goes back 1 second. I'm just go here, watch that, click back to about 30 seconds, and then play it back for the kids. Don't push the record, push the play button. And it starts playing back, and so all the kids can hear their recording. And let it go, maybe for 15, 20 seconds. And then you can push stop, and then make sure all the kids acknowledge. So all we're doing is verifying that at that point in time it was recording. The reason why do I go back 30 seconds? I go back about a minute because the kids in the last recording, they got 2 minutes to talk. These students here probably will fill up that entire 2 minutes. I have been in situations where kids couldn't produce enough language to fill up 2 minutes. And if I just went back 30 seconds, I didn't hear anything. Well, they didn't hear anything because they weren't speaking. So I usually go back about a minute. If you've never been in the classroom, and you'll find this out when you practice with Cecilia, put 30 kids in here, put them all talking at the same time. It's a rumble. It's loud. But the kids are on headsets. They're not hearing each other. You're on a headset. So you'll hear if you take your headset off, you're going to hear it. So we get finished. When we do that last check to the recording, you guys are done. At this point, I'm going to have somebody else come in and take over because that's the last thing you do. Proctor's going to pick up all the paperwork. Kids are going to be dispersed. We're going to have somebody, I don't know if it's Dell or me, whoever is here roaming the hall, they're going to come back and they are going to end this test. Right now, this recording is all contained here. When we end it, it transfers it to the laptop. So when we do the end test, it's going to do a little transfer of the recording, save it on the laptop, we got it, we're good to go. And then from there, we will export those out to MP3s, hand you flash drives with MP3s on.
Okay,
Or you can do it, you know, I've got the instructions for doing it.
all right.